Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for Monday, October the 10th. And to start on the weekly chart here, this is the slightly bigger picture, if you will. Of course, the markets could be more bearish than this. And there's also the possibility, which I doubt it, is that this A wave down here, the B wave here, and the C wave finishing where this wave 1 is here. I don't think that's the case because of the pattern in the US banks, but you know, we've got to put all the counts on the table and then eliminate them one by one when they don't have a high probability or even a reasonable probability. So in a bit of a nutshell, we're looking at wave B down to wave C here, and we're looking for 5 waves in that particular structure. That's it in a bit of a nutshell. So what we need to work out now is we need to work out this internal count that's coming in through here, and there's a couple of counts that we need to be mindful of, and we also need strategies to capture this move to the downside. So that's important. So when we look at I'm going to be looking at 3 counts today, but it kind of doesn't, of course it matters, but in a way, if we're going to capture the short trade, it kind of doesn't matter as well, because the strategy that we'll put forward will be, in a nutshell, buying new lows at the right time. So that will pretty much cover any mistakes that that I'm making. So let's just cruise into the daily chart and start to check on these. So picking up from this A to this B up here, and it looks a little bit messy here at the moment. Just bear with me. So we're just going to go over a few counts. One of the counts that we can look at to start with is wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then coming down here we can also put wave 1 in here and wave 2 here for this. So we're in a 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And then the interesting thing here is that we don't have it yet, but we'll be looking at this in some detail, is when we do have 5 waves down here, then there's going to be a little wave 2 that pulls back, isn't there? So then that's going to leave this low here exposed as the short trade at that point, because there'll be 5 here, then there'll be an A and a B and a C. We can get in on the B wave and we can do some other things, but at this point, this 5 waves down here, if we get 5 waves down here, that's the first thing. We should know that by the next session. Then we'll have that low here, and we can look to short that low. So we could have 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. And the reason I say that for is because if we look at the market as wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, well, on one of the banks and some of the stocks, and even the Russell came pretty close to overlapping wave 4 to wave 1 here. So we've got in some markets, we've got overlaps on this. And because of that overlap, that's what's kind of forced me to also consider another count where we have wave 4 coming in here and this wave 5 here. And I'll take that wave 1 away for a moment and put this wave 1 here. Now, in this case, this move to the upside here, I'll take that wave 2 away as well, just to keep things a little bit clean. So from this low here, we could look at this as wave A here, and then a B wave here, and then a C wave up here. So I'll just leave that there and use this one. So yeah, so that's possible. But the thing here, we'll know about this count in the next session, because if we're only left, see, basically a B wave down here, oops, this B wave here, if this B wave here, that would only be in, a B wave is in 3 waves. And currently we basically have 3 waves down at the moment. So it is possible for it to turn up and go to that height up there. So if it does that and we're only left with 3 waves here and it starts to move up quite high, well, that's okay too. It means that we don't get trapped. And then secondly, this move up through here as a C wave will be in 5 waves. So in the 5th wave here, of the 5th wave, we can start to look to short at that point, and we can also build in positions over here as well. So if this is going to be wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C wave here, then we're going to get it up here, and we're not going to get trapped on this. currently, you know, on some of the markets like the Dow and the Russell, we're short in here, and that's fine. But this we have to wait. Really, we have to see if we get 5 waves. If we get 5 waves down here, then we're going to have a corrective rally, and then we're going to come down again. If we're going to have this move here as all of this here as wave 1 and 2 here, then the same thing will happen. We'll have wave 1 here and 2 here, and we'll take out that low. It's just if it's going to be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 in here, it's going to come down like, you know, like a hailstorm down here, you know. It's going to come down fast. Because in a way, it's sort of, we've got 4,000, which is the closest largest number. And then when we're looking at a medium level, and then we've got group 1 above and group 2 below. And as I always say, that it's the job of group 1 here to pin the market to this number, and this group 2 here to pin it to the upside here. But when we get support on top of group 1, well, then it's leaving this number, or when this becomes the resistance, the group minor group 2 becomes the resistance, it's leaving this number to the downside. So when it gets to this point here at 3650, once that becomes the retested resistance, it's going to drop pretty quick to 5 at that point, bounce here a little bit, and then drop again. So it'll drop pretty quickly from 3,000, from 500 to 300 if we got 1 and 2 here for this. So we'll see the speed of it, but we need to be on the short side of that point. So I'm going to move that over to there and get that out of the way. And yeah, so let me think about this for a moment. We'll put this A wave and B wave back over here for that. We'll just clear these up here for that. If we're looking for this wave 1 to the downside here, if we can just talk about that for a moment, that means that this move here coming down will be in 5 waves. Then we're going to have a corrective move as wave 2, and then we'll have wave 3. So wave 4 will play out across that 3,500, and this will probably come down to around 3-4 or something of that nature, and then we'll push up for the ABC. So that's kind of, I'm kind of expecting this in a way. That would be in line with the banks, US banks. And then this here would come back. This would kind of be just nesting in around the 3.5, not letting go of it, and then retesting this supply zone in here that's been created as this as these lows here would come down and retest those, and then eventually fail from that point. But it will try to get back up here, of course, and it may do that and then come under here and fail at that point and come down. So we're not going to miss anything. We just got to be aware of, you know, all the testing supply and what counts we can play out and so on. But this wave 1 down here, if we get 5 waves here, then we've got to be short, because we're either going to get this move here, or we'll have this as 1 and this as 2 here. There's a good case for that, really, a reasonable case. So that's it in a bit of a nutshell. So we can go in and have a bit more of a look at these, and then also the Russell and the Dow. So we normally cruise in onto the intraday on the 50 tick chart, and on this one here we were looking at this in 2 ways. So we're looking at it in terms of wave 3 here with an A wave, a B wave and a C wave up here as a wave 4. It's pulled back up to 38.2% retracement, but like I said, with the Russell, it's come really quite close. It hasn't overlapped it, but it's quite close. On some of the banks, it has overlapped it here. So that's a bit of a warning sign to me that the wave 3 here as an A and a B and a C for wave 4 is kind of a little bit flimsy. So we just need to be careful about that. As you can see, you may be able to, we're below, it's quite weak because it's below the the 50-60% retracement level, which is sort of here nor there really. Some markets are quite weak, like Nvidia and Microsoft that we cover. They've come back down to their lows here. So to have that wave 4 there and coming down for wave 5 or the 1 and the 2 is quite good. And that 1 and 2, by the way, would be here. So that would be on this one here and 2 over here for that. Just a reoccurring pattern of this one here. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and down to the downside, you know. So yeah, so this move here, you can see it doesn't have 5, I don't know if you can see it, but it doesn't have 5 waves yet. It has that strong wave down here, so that's a third wave here. So we would need to see 4 and 5 to come down. At the moment, we can look at it as the A wave. The B wave here, well, not quite there just yet, but quite close. So we'll keep an eye on that. And from that B wave, we can come up, you know, up into the retest that 4,000 again at that point. And then we call all of this wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C. Anyway, we'll keep cruising in and keep just chatting about this until we get into the detail. So we're on 10K here at the moment. So we can put, let's just add our other count here of wave 1 and wave 2 here. I mean, we can bin this later, but it doesn't hurt just to sort of give it some consideration, because if we do see that move down here really fast, you know, we'll know what's going on then, won't we, you know? So this top here currently can be wave 2, wave 4, or wave A. Now I know that's confusing, but I think that it's sensible to put all the counts on the table and then just eliminate them. So because we want to make money, we don't care about being wrong or right about a particular count. We just need to know when to get in, where to put the stop, and when to get out, basically, you know, is that kind of, we don't want to overcomplicate the situation. So we can have this as wave 1 here with the A wave here and the B wave here. So we're starting to see a bit of shape in this. We need to understand this a bit better, and then up for wave C. Otherwise, this move down here, we need to see in the next session if it gives us wave 1 here. And if it does give us wave 1, well, the first thing we need to do is short under here. When it comes down to here, you might not be able to realize that it's wave 1, but you'll be able to realize that if it comes, you know, if it comes halfway back up, you'll go, well, that's the low then. Do you know what I mean? So then we can look to short that low. If you can find the second low, that's good too, even better. But we want to short lows because there's a possibility, you know, oh, not really. Yeah, no, that's okay. If you can count 5 waves down here, then you can short the 50-60% retracement level at that point. But there must be 5 waves here first. Then you can short this 50-60% area over here for that. And the good thing here, we've got group 2, we've got 65, 72 and 80, so it'll come back up and test the 3700 area as a wave 2. But if it drops out onto the 65, well, then you can look to short it closer. You get a little classic trading levels pattern on the downside here. So it's cruising a bit further. So from 10 we've been going, we've got anything on 5 here? Just that wave 4, so it's okay. I won't do that. I'll just have a look at 1K. Okay, so now we're starting to get a bit of an idea here for this. So, okay, so this count is that count that's going to the upside. Let's just get a bit more in that. So in this case, we got wave 3, 4, and 5, and calling this in as the low over here. Now, you might think that that's definitely wrong, Pete, or and if you think that that's definitely wrong, you need to understand that you can't let your ego get in the way. And, you know, I've been wrong before, and so have you. So, you know, it doesn't hurt to have a look at the other counts, you know. And, of course, we'd put wave 2 over here for that. So what we've got here now, this move coming down through here, we could look at it as the A wave, the B wave, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. And it's at the 50-60%. So, look, a B wave can actually come down below the previous low here and then go up. That's a bit of a problem with the B waves, but we haven't been seeing that in the trend to the downside, except this little move here for this. So this is, you could look at this as an ABC here for the B wave and up for the C wave here. So it's possible for it to do it here, but I don't think that's the case because we're getting quite a nice wave structure in through here. It's certainly not 5 waves down yet, right? So even that I've got the B wave here, it doesn't mean that you can go long here, because we could still end up just coming up to here, having another move down here because I've got this counted wrong here or something or other, and then we could move up here. So I've just got that there because it fits sort of okay-ish, you know. So as the A wave, the B wave, the C wave at the 61.8% mark here, can find support here, and then move up from that point. Let's go into the 100 ticks and check on this. So this count here just gives us a little bit more detail. So I have to say I'm kind of happy with this, the way that I've counted this, because this also lines up with stocks like Apple and that, you know. So it's kind, to me, this particular count is the consensus. It doesn't mean that it's going to go wave 4, wave 5 here, then the ABC, and then down again at that point, because, you know, this could also be the B wave here and going up to the C wave. So we don't know that just yet, but this particular count as 1 and 2 here, and then down for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm pretty comfortable with that. Okay, so that's that really. So I just think that you know, all of this section here happened in the last session, so it ran pretty well. If this is going to be the case here, or it's going to be pretty choppy then, isn't it? Like wave 4, wave 5, an A and a B and a C up here. So that's going to take a bit of a session, you know. The other thing here is that if we do get the, you know, basically we'll be coming down to probably 36 and a little bit below that if we get the wave 4 here that can pull back up to the previous wave 4. May not reach that high, but you've got to do something. So then wave 5, and then the ABC pattern here, which would be, if it goes to 36, then we can look at around the 37 odd here, and obviously that's where the supply starts here, you know, through the resistance. So yeah, I mean, the next thing here is that this, when we get to this point here, there will be another 5 waves down. I don't know where it will exactly come to, but that will also leave you with an ABC pattern here as well. So that means that, you know, first of all, if you can't see what's going on, but if you're thinking about shorting, then just wait for this structure of 5 waves is not finished. So if you just wait and you still don't understand it, it doesn't matter, as long as it comes down to around the 36 and then heads back up. Then if you can see it, that looks like it wants to come back down and take the lows out, well then, you know, you can look to short at that period of time, in that time. So the other point is that if you can count 5 waves down here, then look for the 50-60% retracement level here. I'm just going to turn this box green, because you'll be able to short some in this space here. This wave 2s are normally zigzag, so a 5, 3, 5 structure here. So that means that if you can count 5 waves in here and you're in the green box here, well, you should be able to get the turn at that point. So that's it on the short side. So this would cover this pattern being wave 1 here and 2 here, and then in the other more bearish picture that I had, we had this as a wave 2 up here, which in turn would make this 1 degree smaller. It would be the wave 1 here, and then wave 2 coming back here, and it will come down pretty quick here. All we need to watch out, that's why we're going to short new lows, because the other pattern would take us, you know, higher up here for that. We don't want to get caught on that particular move to the upside. I'm just going to clear these up here because I've got too many objects on the chart, but you get the gist of it, you know. Okay, so that's that, and we'll look at the NASDAQ. So it's the same with the NASDAQ as well. I think the NASDAQ is just generally tech stocks are a bit weaker, so it's come down a bit further. So it's gone way from that low to that high here. It's come down, past the 50-60% retracement level, and in this case, I've got this count, the NASDAQ counted two different ways. This is 5,000 ticks. We'll have a look at 100 in a moment. But in this case, we've got 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 5 for this third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave for the third, the fourth and the fifth. So it's a bit of a bumpy road down to the bottom here. But like I say, you don't really need to be able to short this just yet, because once this does bounce down the bottom here and you can see that it's moved up here somewhere, then you can become interested in shorting it. But I have got this counted a slightly different way as well, which will be on the 100 tick chart. And just get some more data in here. So just in a little bit more. Anyway, from the top up here, this wave C of 4 here also came back to where we needed it to come back to. So in this case, this is just tied in with the S&P, with wave 3 here, looking for wave 4 and wave 5 here for this one. So the other one had 2 bumps to the bottom. This one's just got this one here, just an Australian camel rather than a Saudi camel with 2 humps. So yeah, that's we go. So really we want to be over here. So I don't think we're going to, by tomorrow, it should be good tomorrow, because we may get all of this come in here, but even so would still have this next wave coming down here as wave 1 and back for wave 2 again. So yeah, the time I get to the video tomorrow, it'll be set up a little bit, could be quite nicely set up. And the Russell here. Now the Russell here, you can see how this way, if I look at this as wave 1 and 2 like we have with the other markets, and then my wave 3's gone, but let's just plonk that in. So you can see how close that wave 4 up here has come to the wave 1 here. If it was this wave 1 here, if this was wave 1 rather than this one, then we'd have an overlapping wave structure here. So to look at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, it kind of brings a little bit more light onto the scene here. This is a little bit tricky up here to count. So I've got the what do you call the ETF here, so which has got a cleaner top here for this, so it's just straight down for the wave 1 at this point, and coming back for wave 2, and then 1 and 2 and so on. So it's down here at that point. So, and I'm just looking at the top for that, nothing in particular, because this is a bit thing. So I'm putting this as wave 3 here, and wave 4, and then wave 5. Now it may come down a little bit further, but we still need that 4 and 5. And then we still need the ABC pattern here. I think I must have, what's this on? This is 5K tick. Let me just go to my 100 here. Yeah, right. So we'll need these over here. It's an ABC pattern here. And we can put in, we still need wave 5 here, wave 2. Just borrow that. So we're really at that 50-60%, so it's quite nicely balanced at this point for this. So we're in the right sort of space here. So yeah, look, we just have to, if you're short here, if you're short here, then you've probably been out of the market now for this. But yeah, it's probably, if you're short here, it's probably a good idea to cover down here somewhere anyway. This 1700 is going to play its part here, and then we'll have the 1680 under that. So I'll just give that a bit more definition as it deserves. And yeah, so it should play out around the 1700 here, but we still need, this wave 4 here can go back up to that wave 4. So just be mindful of that, you know. And then we still need this down here. And then we still need the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here. So we want to short under the B wave next, over here for that. But if you can work out that we get 5 waves down here, then you can short the 50-60% retracement level. But I think I'll be back in time for that in the next video, so we'll get that set up. And the Dow Jones as well. So we need to consider all of the same counts as with the other markets that we've just been considering, but I won't go over it all again just here. But in a nutshell, we're looking for wave 4, and then wave 5, and then the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave. And if we just do the same old trick that we always do, if you can see 5 waves down here, then you can short the 50-60% retracement level. It's as simple as that. So, but if you don't get 5 waves down here, or you can't count the 5 waves, well then don't short it. If you don't know, then don't short it. I'll take it down to the 800 here and put that in here. So if you can't count 5 waves here and you short it here, the market could end up here. That's the problem. But otherwise, probably took your money off that. So we can short the B wave low here, at least, you know, that you can short the low here or the B wave low. This wave 4 can come back up here, so don't mistake it for this wave 2 at that point, you know. We definitely need to see 4 and 5 to come down to finish this off. And at worst, there could be 2 little humpies in here for this if I've made a mistake. But it doesn't matter, you still have to wait for that low to come into play, and you'll only know that it's in play once the market moves up here. Alrighty, I'll leave it all at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.